What was once considered the domain of billionaires and business owners is now increasingly attracting everyday American citizens seeking a Plan B, an exit route, as it's becoming increasingly more difficult to live in the United States. Rising costs.
The majority of Americans don't make enough money to cover some of the basic costs of living, like healthcare and rent. It's called the affordability gap. 2 out of 3 Americans told us they're stressed about their own finances. 3 out of 4 said their incomes are not keeping up with inflation.
Eggs, milk, bread, ground beef, butter. Prices at the grocery store are going up. Grocery prices that usually go up 1 or 2% a year have started jumping to more like 13% a year.
I've had to take on a second job just because everything has gotten so expensive.
The housing market right now is slow.
We don't have enough homes at affordable prices.
It's an affordability constrained market.
The U.S. housing market is facing a housing affordability crisis. Prices remain stubbornly high.
Mortgage payments that once cost $1,200 are now devouring $3,500 a month.
63% of workers say they wouldn't be able to cover a $500 emergency expense.
Most people don't have $1,000 in the bank.
Financially, things have definitely been a struggle for me. I don't know how, but every single month I somehow manage to get by, and I'm left with, maybe this past month I was left with $125 in my checking account, and that's it.
As of June 2024, 65% of middle-class Americans said they were struggling financially and don't expect their situation to improve for the rest of their lives.
Healthcare insecurity.
As far back as we've been measuring this, healthcare spending has always risen.
Overall spending on healthcare has doubled over the past 2 decades, reaching $8.5 trillion in 2019.
The U.S. spends about twice as much on healthcare than other large and wealthy countries do.
I don't know what people do without insurance. How could you even begin to pay that?
In 2017, 1/3 of the money raised on GoFundMe went towards medical campaigns.
The House Republican tax bill making its way through Congress would take health coverage away from millions of people over the next decade. In total, 16 million Americans stand to lose coverage over the next decade if the House bill is enacted.
Healthcare costs are rising. A recent Gallup survey found Americans borrowed an estimated $88 billion for medical expenses.
Americans are so furious about healthcare that they are straight up CEOs in broad daylight. The shooter literally etched "deny, defend, depose" on the bullet casings, a reference to the tactics insurers use to deny healthcare claims.
It's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
The political landscape.
Organizers say more than 7 million people gathered at nearly 3,000 events across the country over the weekend for No Kings rally.
Turns out the guy who executed Charlie Kirk wasn't trans, wasn't black, wasn't an undocumented immigrant, and listen to this, wasn't even a Democrat.
And the day Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Senate Republicans blocking an effort by Chuck Schumer to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files.
Hundreds of struggling Arkansas farmers pleading for emergency federal funding amid a farm economy crisis.
Almost everything that could go wrong for Arkansas farmers did go wrong this year.
American farmers are finding out that MAGA actually stands for Make Argentina Great Again.
President Trump is now considering doubling his promised bailout to Argentina to $40 billion.
For example, this $40 billion bailout for Argentina. That's probably one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
Trump's most loyal voting blocs, Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants. A wave of disappointment as the recent wave of deportations hits home.
Launched his campaign by calling Mexican immigrants.
Former President Trump has been found liable in defamation against writer E. Jean Carroll.
He built an empire of fear around walls, deportations, and ICE raids. And yet, by 2024, nearly half of Latino voters chose him.
The White House on defense today over President Trump's decision to tear down the East Wing to make room for a 90,000 square foot ballroom.
Pentagon officials were still working Wednesday on what legal authority they would tell the public was used to back up the extraordinary strike in international water.
Multiple Mississippi, 2 of them around separate high school homecoming events.
Yesterday was the single biggest liquidation event in crypto history, as 200 million liquidations flushed in 15 minutes. Donald Trump has crashed crypto. Global trade war comes roaring back. And thousands of long-time traders going from millions to literally zero within the span of a couple hours.
And the pressure to overwork yourself to stay on a wheel within a system that was built to exploit you.
For many Americans, work can feel like a hamster wheel. No matter how hard they run, it never feels like enough.
Study hard at school, get a good job, work hard your entire life, live within your means, invest diligently, and you will be rewarded with endless free time in your final years. It will only ever be a dream. Most people alive today will work until they die. A Bankrate survey found that 55% of Americans are behind on their retirement savings, and 10% don't even know where their retirement savings stand.
These aren't just talking points. These are just a few of the real reasons a good amount of Americans have already left to move abroad or are currently looking to leave the United States. So far, in 2025, there's been a noticeable shift. Americans are applying for passports and second residencies in record numbers. Citizenship and residency advisory firms such as Art and Capital have reported a 400% increase in the number of U.S. clients in the first 3 months of 2025 alone, compared with the same period in 2024. While another firm, Latitude Group, said U.S. applications for second citizenship and residency have risen by 1,000% since 2020. Milestones that show just how many people are looking to explore their lives beyond American borders. Whether you're watching your cost of living go through the roof, you're feeling stuck in your job, or just wanting more meaningful space to breathe and relax your mind, understand this. Leaving isn't just about escaping, it's about creating. With that, welcome and/or welcome back. I am Miss Chloe, and this is Miss Chloe's Way. I am an American expat who has recently left the United States for good to explore a life abroad. Today, I'm walking you through 10 practical steps to leave the United States. Not fantasy, but these are real moves that you can begin to execute today to get started on your own journey. So, let's get into it. When I began planning my move abroad, I had so many questions. How much does it actually cost to live overseas? How do I go about finding housing? And what am I gonna do about income? I've been through it all, and I'm aware so many of you have some of the same questions. So, I created assistance for you in the form of digital products to help you along your journey. This is gonna be guides, this is gonna be checklists. There's a link down below in the description where you'll find assistance with what to do to prepare, finding the right neighborhood, and securing housing, even how to earn income online so you don't feel stuck. If you have been called to move, it is better to start preparing now. You'll save time, money, and so much stress the earlier you begin. Again, the link is below. Let these tools I've created for you assist you on your journey to freedom. Step 1, clarify your why. Before you pack a single bag or start researching countries, it is beneficial to you to begin to think about why exactly you are wanting to leave. Ask yourself, what's pushing you out and pulling you towards somewhere else? Is it freedom? Is it safety? Is it affordability? Is it purpose? I mean, as an American myself, having the peace of mind that you don't have to worry about you or your children walking into a movie theater, going to school, the grocery store, to church, anywhere, and not have the feeling of your life being taken away by someone who is unstable in the mind, that is enough to start researching for me. But you have to find your own personal why, or whys, plural. Your why or whys are your compass, and they're going to guide you as far as which way you should go. For example, if one of your whys has to do with lifestyle freedom, you may want to look into countries that offer longer stay visas and a strong expat community. If it's financial relief, you may want to look into regions such as Southeast Asia or Latin America. Take a moment now, even in your mind, to formulate a one-sentence why. This is going to be your North Star. Step 2, audit your finances, honestly and thoroughly. Now this step is non-negotiable. You need to set some time aside to sit down and get brutally honest with yourself or your partner if you have one about where you stand financially at this moment. What are your savings looking like? What debts do you have? What's your current income and your expenses? What would you realistically need to move abroad? Aside from actual moving costs, what would you need for monthly expenses? Then what you want to do is translate that into your target country's cost structure. Don't forget to include emergency funds, visa fees, like I said, moving expenses, transaction fees for a buffer so you won't really have too many unexpected expenses. I actually just recently recorded a video on hidden costs you may want to check out. I'll link it in the description, as well as cost of living, an in-depth cost of living analysis based on my own budget and what it was like for me in Bangkok, Thailand. I'll link that below as well. Another action you may consider doing, which I think is extremely helpful, is to create a separate relocation fund. This is going to keep your progress visible and your goals real. Personally, I chose Bangkok, Thailand as my first stop in my living abroad journey. So if you're also interested in Bangkok, Thailand, I actually created a resource that breaks down cost of living by lifestyle type. I'll also put that in the description and in the pinned comment. Speaking of my first destination, step 3 is to choose your first destination. Now, when you're thinking of this, don't put too much pressure on yourself. This is not where you're thinking of where you're going to spend your next 20, 25 years or the rest of your life. Think of your first stop as your launch pad. I'd suggest for you to look for locations that have accessible visas for Americans or visa-free locations. Stay tuned because I will be talking about this a little bit later. Basic infrastructure and a thriving expat network. So countries like Portugal, Thailand, or Vietnam. Like I said, your first move doesn't have to be final. It just has to be sustainable and feasible. Going by what is going on in the United States right now, you may be feeling like you just need a place to feel safe and to kind of detox. Choosing a country that offers a visa-free stay for you at 90 days or more is probably going to be your best bet. So like I said, stay tuned. I will be talking about this later as well. Speaking of visas, step 4 is to research visa options early. Now, visa rules can make or break your plan. Whether you want to apply for a digital nomad visa, a straight up tourist visa, or a retirement visa, start your research now. Each country is different and has different rules, requires different types of paperwork for these different types of visas. For example, for each country you're interested in, you want to go to their official visa website and check for income requirements, if any, health insurance mandates, renewal mandates, and restrictions. Knowing your options well before you make any commitments is going to prevent last-minute stress and wasted money. Step 5, declutter your life. I'm giving you these practical tips to get you on the road, but moving abroad isn't just about physically moving yourself, your family, your things somewhere else. This is highly emotional. This new chapter does require you to either sell or donate your things. You cannot take your entire life with you overseas. Well, you can if you want. It's just going to add a plethora of unneeded costs. It's also going to help you if you go ahead and digitize your important documents like medical records, birth certificates, transcripts. You're also going to need to cancel unneeded subscriptions, memberships, and accounts. And I will be the first one to tell you, once you do all of this, all these little tedious things, it is like the first step to freedom. You don't have all this baggage on you, physically and metaphorically. Step 6, you're going to have to build remote or location independent income. Now, those who watch my channel, who are not new to my channel, you know how I feel about this topic. I am never going to suggest that you get a remote job. I do not believe in working for anyone else. I believe in creating your own and building your own and doing for yourself. But you will have to have income. And so if you're at the point where you feel like you need to go as soon as possible, maybe you would be served better if you get a remote job to start and then transition into having your own business. But either way, this is the key. Either a remote job or your own business are the keys to long-term stability abroad. You want income that grows and travels with you. Whether if it's freelancing, coaching, consulting, content creation, you want to solidify your income source or sources now, even if it's part-time. The goal is to have consistent, regular income while you're living abroad, because a lot of times in most countries, they're going to want to hire their own before foreigners. So make sure you have your location independent income set before you make any moves. Step 7, handle United States paperwork before you go. Speaking of admin work, if you currently are a passport holder, just go ahead and get it renewed now. You don't want to be stuck with 2 years of validity, 1 year of validity, and you have to come back to the States or, go to the embassy in the country you're in. Just get a fresh passport. It's so much more beneficial to have a fresh book of pages for 10 years than to have anything less. And I do suggest that you get the version with extra pages. If you plan on driving or having a car, you want to go ahead and get your international driver's permit. You also want to go ahead and notify your bank of your upcoming move. This is going to prevent any freezes or fraud claims on your accounts, and make sure that you have mobile and or online access to your accounts. Last but not least, don't forget your taxes. Okay, you want to set up your IRS online account and research United States tax obligations for those living abroad. Step 8, research healthcare and insurance. Emergencies happen, so plan to have a health safety net. To protect yourself and your family, you want to research healthcare plan options with global health insurance companies. Know what's covered in your plan: hospitalization, outpatient care, meds, etc. And be sure to include this in your monthly expenses. A good amount of expats, I've spoken about this before, but a good amount of expats overlook healthcare because outside of America, it's just not as expensive and it's so much easier to pay out of pocket, but it's better to have a plan than to not. I typically don't like to shout out companies on my channel unless I'm sponsored, but I do these videos to help you. So there is a company that is wildly popular, and I'm sure if you've been doing your research, I know I'm not the only channel that you've been watching, but Safety Wing is a good option you may want to look into for you and your family. I'll also put that link in the description below as well. Step 9, build a support network before you land. I wouldn't say it's crucial, but it's extremely important for most people. Don't go in blind. If you have never moved on your own, left your city, never left your state, never left the United States, never lived abroad, never ever left your bubble, do not go in blind. Even if you have, it's always good to be familiar with at least some people. Facebook groups are your best friend here, but there are also other options like WhatsApp communities and subreddits for your target cities and or countries. You want to get in here and get familiar with people. There's going to be essential things that people can help you with, like what the different neighborhoods are like, what the schools are like, what you have to do to enroll your children in the schools. What are the best restaurants, the trusted service providers. This is where you're going to get the information on these things, those communities. Building relationships prior to landing will smooth your transition, and it will ease culture shock before you even land. Step 10, fortify your mind and let go of guilt. This step is arguably the most important because it ties back to what I was saying earlier about moving not just being a physical thing, but it's also mental and emotional. It's very possible for you to feel guilt about leaving, like you're abandoning people or running away, especially if you've never left your comfort zone, much less the country. But if you have enough discernment, you can see what's happening right now, and you can feel what is to come for America, as well as you being compelled to increase your quality of life. Remember what I said, leaving America isn't about escaping. It really boils down to recapturing peace of mind and personal safety for you and your family, as well as being brave enough to choose alignment over a programmed sense of obligation to a place that is clearly exemplifying signs of a collapse. If you're planning, I've been where you are. Trust me. I've personally created a few resources to help you get your start on moving abroad. The first one that would really help you the most is the moving abroad checklist. We've talked about a few of the practical steps in this video, what you can tangibly do right now. The moving abroad checklist takes that further from where you are now all the way up until your first 2 weeks of landing in your next destination. It's an easy to follow step-by-step checklist that's relevant for any country you choose. Plus, it's completely free. I'm gonna put a QR code here on the screen. If it hasn't popped up already, it's gonna be somewhere here, as well as the link in the description and in the pinned comment for you to go ahead and grab your copy. But if you're choosing Bangkok, Thailand, just like I did, you might as well go ahead and download the Bangkok Relocation Collection. It's gonna give you all of the popular neighborhoods where most expats live, so you feel a little bit more comfortable. Their price ranges, and a step-by-step guide to securing your new home, as well as many other resources. The link to the Bangkok Relocation Collection is also going to be in the description and the pinned comment. Or you can just visit my website at misschloesway.com. So, there you have it. 10 real actionable steps you can begin today to get started on your journey and leaving the United States, where you can rest your mind, have peace of mind, and detox your nervous system. If I have inspired you in any way, if you found this video to be helpful or valuable, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, I'll have more, and hide my video. Also, comment below, where do you currently live? And what countries are you interested in calling your next home? I'm so interested to hear. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
you